everyone, and welcome to Louisville, Texas for Day 2 action from the FINA Women's Intercontinental Tournament. James Smith, Greg Meskel here with you, and we are underway with Japan and Brazil. That's Brazil in the white caps, Japan in the black, as Brazil controls the opening sprint. Japan, their head coach, Hideo Kato, going up against Brazil and their head coach, Pat Oden. And Brazil gets things started here on the offensive end. Both of these teams struggling yesterday. Brazil falling to Team USA 17-2, and Canada defeating Japan 19-10. And our first exclusion goes against Japan, number 2, Chiaki Sakanu. And a power play here for Brazil. Lob attempt just off the mark. That was on the try there from Gabriela Montiado. And we'll go the other direction. This is the second of 3 games. We'll have USA and China to close things out here on Day 2. Some pressure here on the perimeter. Shot clock about to expire. Long distance shot there is saved as Shino Magariyama fires, but Tessa Oliveira is there for the block. Rikako Miura getting the go in net for Japan. And a contra foul here called against Brazil. So these teams still kind of feeling each other out here as we get going in the first.
Well, so are we, sort of, don't you think? I mean, this is a very interesting matchup. The Brazilians already have a spot in the Olympics, and the Japanese, again, trying to become the up-and-coming program in Asia, and these two styles seem to be very different from the beginning.
And not much of a traditional center game out of Japan. Lob attempt there, easy pull down for Oliveira. Duarte controls now as Brazil moves it into the front court. And score it for Marina Duarte. Took it all the way herself. And able to deliver for a 1-0 lead for Team Brazil. A little over 2 minutes gone by here in the first.
We talked about a bit of the changeover in Canada, and Pat Oden, the coach of the Brazilian team, a former Canadian coach. It's interesting to see the style that he brings to this team.
Entry inside, lost the handle. That was Mitsuki trying to control, but couldn't hang on. And Oliveira will set things up for Brazil. We saw them use both keepers last night. Victoria Chamorro from USC. Oliveira gets the start here in this one. Ordinary called. Looking for a little movement over the top to Chiappini, but they instead go middle, and a contra called, trying to get Montiado involved.
The Japanese will take those contra fouls all day because they're quite vulnerable on that line.
Great shot from Akari Inaba.
What an interesting style they have in the front court, the Japanese. I mean, they're a very sort of drive focus, taking space, and that shot and score could really dictate terms defensively for the Brazilians for the rest of the game. It's such an interesting style of play.
And so Akari Inaba moving into an open spot and tying this one up at 1. Under 5 to play in the first. Good shovel look inside. Keeper out for Japan and a steal. Rikako comes up with that one. And on the other end now, Japan in transition. Good look over the top, but a save. Oliveira just didn't have much on that shot on the interior from Akari.
Very clever play. This is going to be an entertaining game at the very least.
Yeah, some good end-to-end action here to start. Quite different from the game we just watched, which was a grab fest to open up the first quarter. This has been a bit more fluid. As I say that, we have an exclusion, but it has been definitely more up and down. Shino Magariyama, the captain, goes off for Japan. Schiappini scored it. Brazil retakes the lead, 2-1. 3:51 to go in the first. Standout for Todd Clapper in Arizona State in women's college water polo. That has been a bit of a pipeline there from Brazil to Tempe and ASU.
Chinese as well.
Yeah. We'll see China in our next game against the United States. Japan looking for something about 5 meters away and tipped out. Again, not going to get that traditional 2-meter mix-it-up center here with Team Japan.
No, clearly
Gonna
not.
rely on some movement, some other options. Brazil now countering Amanda Oliveira. Here's Schiappini. Potential backhand here coming for Carvalho, but instead draws the kick out on Kotori Suzuki. From the perimeter, a couple of fakes. Schiappini, sides coming even, power plays over. Oh, a mistake from Carvalho gave it right back to Japan. And now on the counter. And then a poor pass from Rikako Miura trying to set up Akari. And a steal from Brazil, so turnovers leading to turnovers. And now Brazil has the advantage for the moment.
Yeah, I think the Japanese forced that mistake on the 6-on-5 play for Brazil, but just a couple inches off on that counterattack pass.
Ordinary called. Melanie Diaz swings to Oliveira. She'll go lob off the post. And the rebound to Japan with 2:07 to go. So a fluid start here to this one. Under 2 to play in the first. Inside, bit of a post up there as Japan looked to pour it in to Ayaka Takahashi. She draws the exclusion and then a timeout is called. Looks as if Melanie Diaz is the excluded party rather for Brazil. Coach Pat Oaten not thrilled. Interesting timeout here by Japan. More of just a coaching from afar, not bringing them in for the huddle.
It's so fascinating to watch this team from the very beginning. There's a bit of a globalization of the game, and I would say it was mainly driven by the most successful programs, the Serbians and such. And here's a team that really doesn't abide by those rules that seem to be being put in place by those programs. Very fascinating.
So out of the timeout after some brief instruction. Japan ready here for the 6-on-5. Ball comes near side. They work it around the perimeter. Here's a look from the outside, nothing there. Now near side. Great look onto the post, a save made in close. Oliveira able to gobble that up on a great look inside. On the other end now, a scramble for it. And a steal. Japan comes up with it. 1:17 to go here in the first quarter, 2-1. Japan on the counter, hosts of the 2020 Olympic Games on the way in Tokyo, so a long way off, but building a strong foundation with this team. Shot clock under 10. Still holding, and then delivering from the outside, Mori, but it's a save from Oliveira. Here's Amanda Oliveira, just a ordinary foul called. Pressure defense here from Japan. We saw this too up close and personal 2 years back in Riverside, the first year of this event, and Japan was everywhere in the pool. Such a level of fitness. A timeout called here by Brazil with 33 seconds left. Exclusion called against Japan and against number 10, Mori Tsubasa.
You almost get the sense that the Japanese are getting more out of their talent than the Brazilians. They're to be direct, they're smaller, but they are very active and very interesting to watch.
Anything here you're going to take back to Austin with you?
It's possible. I mean, well, you know, it's funny you mention that because this is more reminiscent of the kind of creativity you see at high schools or that you see at teams that don't play to the system that you see normally, for example, the United States national team. It's very, like you said, free-flowing, very open, very drive to the open space related.
Only 5 combined exclusions thus far, so a bit of a different story from our first game. And it just seems to have moved at a quicker tempo.
Altogether, it has.
Ball works near side. Around the perimeter now. Good look in front and a goal. Too easy for Diana Abla. Can't leave her that kind of room. She'll make it a 3-1 lead with 19 seconds to play in the first. It's like a pause here for a suit adjustment on Camila Pedrosa.
After the last game, you would think that would have happened a dozen times compared to this one.
No, that was there was some very durable swimwear in that first game. What was going on there, James?
It's. I'm telling you, it's utterly fascinating. I'm enjoying it.
And this is, you know, sometimes you have to adjust to your personnel. You don't have a lot of 6-foot bodies out here, a lot of big people. You've got to make use of speed, of quickness, of creativity. Here's a look after the ordinary save, Oliveira. That'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. So Brazil ahead of Japan now 3-1 with 1 quarter in the books here in Louisville. We'll return with the second. You're watching the FINA Women's Intercontinental Tournament live on USA Water Polo TV.
So, you've got your hard-earned money, but you're not sure where to put it. Well, one of the best things that you can do is put it into a credit union. Credit unions are like banks, only better. They offer higher rates of return, lower fees, and are safe and secure. And because they're not for profit, they're all about putting the people first. With credit unions, you're not just another face in the crowd, you're a member. And credit unions are member-owned and member-operated. Take control of your finances. Visit or contact Sea Air Federal Credit Union to find out all of the great reasons why you should join.
You never know where the next Olympian might be coming from, but it could be water polo. and that starts with Splash Ball. Splash Ball is a program for children ages 5 through 9 designed to introduce them to the sport of water polo while promoting water safety. Improve swimming skills and learn a sport you'll love for a lifetime. For more information, visit splashballusa.org. Second quarter about to begin. Our officials about to get this one underway here. Mr. Dolly from Malta, Mr. Wah from Canada. James Smith and Greg Meskel here with you. Coming up next, we'll have USA and China to close things out. Our first game, Australia beating Canada 11-2. And the opening sprint's controlled by Brazil. Pressure again on the perimeter here from Japan. Now they'll look to counter. This leaves a triple team, and it results in a penalty. So Japan looking like everything was heading their way. But Brazil left one player back. Gabriela Amontillado, she went 1-on-3, James, and drew the penalty.
That's a bit of a surprise.
Giappini denied. Rikako Miura turns that one away. Big windup there from Isabella Sciappini and gave the keeper some time, I think. On the other end now, can Japan take advantage of coming up with a huge stop defensively? Just about a minute gone by here. Second quarter. And the shot clock violation there as they get that one off just as the horn sounded. Moving in, working in close. A tangle, wave off the goal. First things first. An ordinary. So Amontillado would love that goal, but instead, just a regular foul. Here's Sciappini, and no dice there. This time, a contra foul. And looked to be Amontillado called there for using that off arm to hook the defender. So Japan's gotten some stops here, but now can they take advantage of it? And they get bailed out there with an ordinary on what looked to be a turnover.
They get the ball to the front court in such quick fashion. Yeah, a bit of a shade of the last game where we have the contra foul coming from the other end. And also, I think they were surprised at getting that penalty shot. 3 defenders typically does not yield a penalty throw.
Yeah, right. That was a new one.
I think both of us were a little surprised by that. And then the following one, ordinary foul in 2 meters.
A stoppage here first for a cap adjustment and now to adjust a shot clock. So they'll get that figured out here momentarily. And it looks like it is going through its motions here to get reset. Electronics and a pool. Who knew there'd ever be a problem with that?
And here we are, no center once again.
10 seconds on the shot clock. The ball in and an ordinary. It'll stay with Japan. Now 7 on the clock. From the outside, off the bar, a long rebound, and it will stay with Japan. As there was a grab there on the rebound. That was Kotori going for it, and Pedrosa had her in a wrap.
Again, another rare call, but she earned it.
You're right. That's another one where 9 times out of 10 we're going the other way.
That's right.
2 minutes gone by here in the second. Outside attempt from Akari, and it's field blocked. And now Pedrosa advancing. Shapini tangled up on the perimeter. Working out high. Shot clock to 7. Ball far side, keeper out, dangerous, and an exclusion. It'll go against Japan and Akana Hosoya. And I think Japan was in trouble one way or another. That was obviously an exclusion, and now a goal, or it might have been a goal previously, but either way you scored. Brazil's back on the board thanks to Camila Pedrosa. And a 4-1 lead for the upcoming Olympic Games hosts.
These Brazilian programs are fascinating because, again, automatic bid, not necessarily a power on the world stage, but hopefully hoping to slingshot as a result of the Olympic Games into a different level of play. Now, the UK teams after Great Britain didn't necessarily do that. In fact, faced a lot of financial trouble. So it's very interesting to watch what they're going to do here and beyond.
Yeah, I think I see it on both sides. The Chinese women have maintained being a pretty powerful team to deal with after Beijing. But then what you alluded to with London in 2012, it's been a bit of a different story. And an exclusion there on Brazil, and Marina Zablith, the captain, in close. And they'll say that's a save. I think there was some confusion there if that might have been into the net off of the keeper. So if the goalie was so deep in the goal, but not the case. A save by Oliveira, and here we go down the other end. Ordinary called. Good look inside, breaking free. Brazilians on the move. From behind, a deflection and a steal. Credit Yuri Kazama with forcing that turnover as Carvalho is moving towards the goal.
That's exactly right. That was a conversion waiting to happen, except for that defensive play.
Goalie out again on this side. Just an ordinary, so keeper's getting aggressive here in the second with 4:02 to play. And an exclusion called, and now a timeout. Japan will call for time. Exclusion there on number 8 for Brazil. Luisa Carvalho, her first. And 3:58 to play. Second quarter action. James, this is often where Japan has run into a problem manufacturing offense. They don't score goals the traditional way, so then where do you go? As we see a good look there at head coach Kato.
0 for 2 on the power play. It's a bit reminiscent of the previous game. The Canadians 0 for 9. And you almost wonder whether they want the exclusion. They've had at least a slight bit more success in the front court. So the question is, what do they do now? Again, the Brazilians have the size advantage. They've got the height advantage as well. What are they going to do?
And an opportunity here to get one back. And as much as they've struggled offensively, still only down 3 right in this game as we work towards halftime. Moving in on the far side, Kotori. She'll come out to Yumi. Yumi, a couple of fakes, gives to Yuri. from the outside and saved. Oliveira, sides are even now. And on the counter, Trapini ahead of the crowd, and she will draw an exclusion, dragged down from behind. And an easy call there against Yumi Nakano. And Brazil will use their timeout here in the second, as they are going to go up here on the 6-on-5 with 3:28 to play here in the first half, ahead 4-1. Some numbers here to look at thus far. Brazil 3 for 6 on the 6-on-5, but did miss that one penalty shot. And a nice save by Rikako Miura of Japan. Japan 0 for 3 on power plays and not attempted a penalty shot.
8 turnovers for the Brazilians. I'm sure that actually has it correlates to the score.
Yeah.
But this is the spot I think that they're looking for, really. I mean, the Japanese have struggled offensively and defensively on power plays.
Out of the timeout, here's Brazil. A few fakes and a score. Melanie Diaz. And a productive possession out of the timeout for Brazil. Melanie Diaz scoring to make it a 5-1 game with 3:13 to play in the first half. Inside pass, keeper out, and a penalty is called.
That's their strategy. I mean, this is what they're looking for.
It'll go against, let's see the official signals. Looks like Duarte. So now a 5-meter penalty shot here for Mitsuki Hashiguchi. Save Oliveira. So 2 penalty shots and 2 saves, 1 for each keeper. And Japan gives away a great opportunity.
You know, don't look away when the Japanese are in the front court. They're going to somehow find inside water and take some awkward angle to get a pass in there.
Ordinary called. That's over the goal on Marina Tokumoku. A 5-1 lead for Brazil. In control of this one, although it hasn't ever felt like they've gotten so far away that it's not in doubt. Goalkeeper way out again here, really rolling the dice, and this time it pays off. A steal for Akari. Now looking to counter. This is their way back in the game. Kotori Suzuki pushing ahead, working her way towards the goal. Kotori, the lob, off the bar and out of play. I like the idea of what Japan is doing. Use some of that speed, force a turnover, get a counter. They drew the penalty. It didn't get anything for him. Trapini's knocked down. Sides coming even after that exclusion on Japan. And with the timer about to expire, a save by Rikako on the try from Oliveira. On the other end, on the counter, another save, Oliveira, point-blank range. So now, James, you can really look at this and think Japan should be at 5-3.
They should be at 5-3. The Brazilians should be not terribly pleased with their transition defense. And if the score was for entertainment, boy, the Japanese are very exciting to watch.
Entry inside. The backhand is off the mark on the attempt from Montiato. Now we get an exclusion. So Montiato off the mark, then excluded. And Japan here with another chance under a minute to play in the first half. Top of their perimeter now. Looking for something. Sides or even power plays already over. And now things falling apart here with 5 on the shot clock. Entry inside, a quick shot, and Oliveira with a quick save. Didn't have to get up much out of the pool to make that stop.
Surprising the Japanese even were able to get to the center at the end of the possession.
Ordinary called. And now a contra foul called with 18 seconds left. Shot clock is off. Japan can try and put something together here as we get towards halftime, trailing 5-1 on night 2 of the FINA Women's Intercontinental Tournament. And a contra foul, so they give it right back. Long try, easy save by Rokako Miura. We've come to halftime. All Brazil in a up and down matchup here with Japan. They lead it 5-1. We will take a break and return with the third quarter right here on USA Water Polo TV.
So, you've got your hard-earned money, but you're not sure where to put it. Well, one of the best things that you can do is put it into a credit union. Credit unions are like banks, only better. They offer higher rates of return, lower fees, and are safe and secure. And because they're not for profit, they're all about putting the people first. With credit unions, you're not just another face in the crowd, you're a member. And credit unions are member-owned and member-operated. Take control of your finances. Visit or contact Sea Air Federal Credit Union to find out all of the great reasons why you should join.
You never know where the next Olympian might be coming from, but it could be water polo, and that starts with Splash Ball. Splash Ball is a program for children ages 5 through 9 designed to introduce them to the sport of water polo while promoting water safety. Improve swimming skills and learn a sport you'll love for a lifetime. For more information, visit splashballusa.org. Third quarter underway here in Louisville, Texas. Brazil, Japan, all Brazil here, 5-1. And they have spread it around on the offensive end of things. 1 goal apiece for 5 different athletes. Abla, Pedrosa, Chapini, Diaz, Duarte. And they control things here to start the third along with James Smith. Greg Meskel here from North Dallas. It's Brazil in the white caps, Japan in the dark if you're just joining us. Teams have switched ends here at the half break. Ball tipped and lobbed up into the air and then just bouncing around, and now it's controlled by Japan. We've seen a couple of just kind of anyone's ball there. They've kind of just drifted out into the open. On the other side, a save, Oliveira. In transition, it's going to come right back, and it will go to Japan. That shot attempt just off the bar. So close for Akari Inaba.
She drove to space for herself, but yeah, right. Once again, couldn't finish it.
Ordinary call there. Ball will stay in the perimeter. Brazil showing some movement as well as they send a couple of drivers through. It's interesting, given the size advantage, you don't normally think of Brazil as the biggest team in the pool, but here they are. Surprised they don't try and go more, really try and post up some of these smaller Japanese players. Now we see an exclusion.
You know, for the first through 2 quarters, they did a much more traditional way of posting up the center, and they actually got called for a couple of offensive fouls that I actually felt were merely a size difference, and so maybe they're trying something quite a bit different here.
Great look inside, and a bit different works out. In close, a goal for Marina Canetti. A veteran of this Brazilian team. And a different angle here on Canetti, who's going to pop free. Defenders nowhere to be found.
Yeah, very good ball movement in that case.
And a 6-1 lead now for Brazil. About a minute and a half gone by here in the third. Turnover here. And Brazil takes control.
You know, Takahashi just entered the game, and she's if there is a traditional center on the team, she resembles it most of anybody. But still, all these very jagged angles of passes that don't quite make it into the center.
Good look inside, keeper out. This is trouble if they get a shot off, but that last line of defense able to come back and keep it from crossing over.
Yeah, the Japanese were lucky to have her pushed out a little from the cage.
In transition now, Japan on the attack. That was Shino. They work it around the perimeter now. Brazil getting back. The lob attempt is a good one. Akari Inaba with her second. And after a long, long drought, Japan is back on the board.
A long drought that didn't even really feel like much of a drought in a lot of ways. It feels like they've scored more than they actually have.
Yeah, certainly don't feel like they're that far behind in this game. Great look here at the lob and beats the keeper. And Japan has certainly had their opportunities in the first half. You think back to a couple of counterattacks, a penalty shot, of course. No reason this couldn't be really a one-goal game at this point.
Yeah, which is surprising all around.
And a turnover. So things starting to trend in Japan's favor right now. Can they take advantage? Here's a good look now ahead of the field. Here's Chiaki. Comes back with a bad pass, looking to go middle there to Kotori, and it's taken away.
Once again, some exciting transition water polo, though.
Shot clock about to expire here on Brazil. Outside attempt, and Rukako gets enough of that. She'll go track it down. Ball near side. Cross pass. Looking to spin inside is Kotori Suzuki. Dealt back out. And a contra foul. Just when it feels like, all right, here comes Japan. They're going to rally. They do a couple of things to really take away an opportunity. And now they add to it here with an exclusion. And a timeout for Brazil. A 6-on-5 on the way for the Brazilians.
We talked a bit about the details in the last game where the Canadians were unable to finish in the same level of quality that the Australians were, and we're just continue. I think you and I are both continuously waiting for the Japanese to just make that one last good pass, one good angled shot. You know, it's always one step short, I think.
Good look at Japan's head coach, Hideo Kato. Now Pato guarding against a rally here from Japan. Has to be an exciting time for that coaching staff. Not just the players, but the coaches dream of coaching the Olympics too. And to know you've got that already secured is got to be a great feeling.
That has to be the best. They're going to be putting on the best show that their country can do, and they're going to be featured as a team that it doesn't necessarily get the kind of coverage that it would otherwise. You're right. It has to be a great time.
Out of the timeout now, 6-on-5 underway here for Brazil. 4 minutes to play. That one is off the bar. And a rebound controlled. Montiato keeping it alive for new life here. And then a contra foul. And now on the counter. Japan on the move. Working inside, looking to set things up for Marina. And a save Oliveira.
Again, inside, earned the inside water, but couldn't complete it.
Not a lot of pace on these shots, too, from Japan.
That's
it's
right.
Such effort to get open that when they do, they don't have much on them. They really have to find that opening.
Find the opening. It doesn't necessarily require pace to get those shots completed, but when you have a defender hanging on your shoulders and an excellent goalkeeper, it's very tough.
Another power play here. Kana Hosoya, her second. 6-on-5 here for Brazil, looking to go up 7-2. They work it around the perimeter. Ball comes topside. Now looking in and scoring. Melanie Diaz has her second of the match. And a 7-2 lead right now for Brazil. Moving in, penalty. Yuri Kazama will draw the penalty there on Vivian Bahia.
They run something every time they get this inside water. If you're a Japanese fan, you're just hoping that they can complete that process here.
And this time it's in the back of the net for Yuri Kazama. And Japan cuts it to 7-3 with 2:42 left here in the third. Yuri Kazama on the bounce, going near side. Ordinary called. Entry pass comes in, looking for a turn, not there. 2:24 to play, third quarter, 7-3. Brazil ahead of Japan.
Yep, they're looking for the counterattack. Here it comes.
You can see Japan already sending Yuri Kazama the other way. Now 5-on-5, save there by Rikako Miura. But Brazil was wise to the plan. Doesn't stop Japan. They're still going to unload a long outlet pass and try and create something here. Going to the goal, inside water, and a score! Beautiful maneuvering by Japan. 2 straight now to make it a 7-4 game. That one coming from number 12, Kotori Suzuki.
You know, a lot of that led from that possession at the other end, and Japan's defenders play so high, unafraid, it seems like, of being burnt on the backside, and they converted it into this counterattack that they finally finished.
Under 2 to play here in the third. Japan making things interesting here with 2 straight. Brazil trying to respond, but another takeaway. And Japan on the move, trying to use some of that speed to their advantage. They'll go back to the keeper now to regroup. Long outlet pass. Here comes Chiaki. Moving in, cross pass. Nothing there. From the outside, that's tipped out by Oliveira. Come back in with a new shot clock, and this is where Japan has done better in movement. On the counter, once you get into a half-court set, they seem to struggle a bit.
That's true, and it's not quite the same game at all. Although, here we go again. More motion toward the center, no center play to begin.
This is reminiscent of what we saw a couple of years back, where they just abandoned the idea of anyone really posting up and kind of left that middle open. It gave them a lot of room to drive through.
Drive through.
Oliveira again with a tip out on the try from distance from Kotori, with just about a minute to play here in the third. Again, they'll move towards the cage. Look to try and generate something. Trouble here on the near side. Pressure from Scipioni. Looking inside now. Tough pass. Shot clock to 6. A turn and a shot, and Oliveira another save, so she's stockpiling stops here in the third. And now 30 seconds to play. Brazil looking to see if they can't finish strong. Almost too long of a pass, but Scipioni able to pull it down. And a kick out called. A perimeter exclusion there on Japan and Shino Magariyama. And that is all for the captain for Japan. She has fouled out. Shot attempt there off the bar, and that'll bring an end to the third quarter. So a couple straight from Team Japan makes this one a little bit closer, a little bit more interesting as we go to the fourth. A 7-4 lead for Brazil. We are back after this here to Louisville.
You've got your hard-earned money, but you're not sure where to put it. Well, one of the best things that you can do is put it into a credit union. Credit unions are like banks, only better. They offer higher rates of return, lower fees, and are safe and secure. And because they're not for profit, they're all about putting the people first. With credit unions, you're not just another face in the crowd, you're a member. And credit unions are member-owned and member-operated. Take control of your finances. Visit or contact Sea Air Federal Credit Union to find out all of the great reasons why you should join.
You never know where the next Olympian might be coming from, but it could be water polo, and that starts with Splash Ball. Splash Ball is a program for children ages 5 through 9 designed to introduce them to the sport of water polo while promoting water safety. Improve swimming skills and learn a sport you'll love for a lifetime. For more information, visit splashballusa.org. Fourth quarter about to begin. Ordinary call there as we open things up here in the fourth. Brazil in control right now, but Japan threatening. You feel like one more counter goal here, James, and it's going to get a little nervous over there on the Brazilian sideline. And as we say that, the ball turns over.
Yep, maybe it's right now.
In transition. Field block there. Big arm out of the water from Pedrosa, taking that one down.
And their strength is not on that outside shooting, so it's so much as it is playing those angles.
Ordinary called in Brazil. Minute gone by here in the fourth. Head 7-4, threatening here. Pedrosa, big save for Kako. It'll stay with Brazil here, a new shot clock. USA and China to follow at about 7:20 p.m. Central Time here. And another contra foul. Brazil will turn it over. And Japan again looking to counter, and out ahead of things, here's Chiaki. She has help if she can hurry. Can't get the pass where it needed to go. Now they swing it far side. Big save, Oliveira. She has another huge stop. Ball comes near side. Over the top. Japan closing in. But here's Montoyato, and they'll have to dump it aside as the shot clock was about to expire. Here's Japan moving in close. Good look in front, score it for number 12, Kotori Suzuki, and it is now a 2-goal game, so the comeback trail alive and well for Team Japan. And how about this, James? With under 6 to play, we have ourselves a game after this was largely all Brazil.
The previous possession, it almost looked as though the Brazilians are up 2. They look like they're genuinely harassed by this very high press defense, as you see right here, with the Japanese just poised to pounce anytime they possibly can.
Japan on a 4-1 run going back to the 3rd quarter. And they have battled back into this one. Brazil looking to answer from the outside. The skip in. Rikako Miura is there again, ranging right. And again on the counter. And this has worked to perfection here. They're funneling the outside shot and now launching into the counterattack. Here's Chiaki. Goes across the way. Nothing there. They'll go out top of the perimeter. Working again on that 2-meter area. Couple of drives coming through. Shot clock about to expire. Oliveira with an easy stop from the perimeter, knocking down the Marina attempt. On the outlet now, it's Oliveira. Oliveira pushing it ahead. Going lob, just getting a fingertip, but tipped out on the end line. Rikako got enough of that.
If nothing else, this is going to test the Brazilians' fitness.
A contra foul called on Brazil. So they are leaving the door most certainly open. And now rolled from the game, number 10 for Brazil, Vivian Bahia. So thought to just to be an exclusion in transition, but more than that, and Japan responds with another. It's a 1-goal game thanks to a goal from Akari Inaba. She has a hat trick. We have a 7-6 game with 4:29 to play.
This is what we were saying. You get the sense that the Brazilians aren't quite sure what to do with this. They are bigger, stronger, faster, and they're just a little out of sorts about what this kind of awkward defense is doing, and to the point where we have one of their main players getting rolled.
Yeah, didn't see exactly what transpired there, but it must have been a little something extra to send Bahia out for the match.
Again, an attempt to foil this counterattack that seems endless.
There's an ordinary called. Inside, and Brazil with a much-needed goal. They go to their star, Isabella Sciappini. She has 2 on the match and makes it an 8-6 game. This is always the risk when you have to go a long way to come back in a match is, do you have enough to sustain it all the way to the finish?
To the finish. And we have a Brazilian team that this is the kind of offense that they should be running. It's basically giving the alley-oop to somebody who's just simply taller.
Also, an after-goal play, although Japan does draw an exclusion here, but an after-goal play puts Japan in that half-court offense where they're just not as successful. Gonna pull the ball out here on the side. It's like a stoppage here to fix the cap. That'll be Yuri Kazama getting her hat fixed.
For 5, will it be their Japanese first?
Yeah, that's the big question here. Brazil 4 for 12 on the power play. From the outside, had a clean look there, was knocked down. They move it now near side once more. Here's Kotori trying to pop someone free around 2 meters, swing it far side. Kotori gets it back, a tough angle, and then deflected away. And the shot clock about to expire here. Japan will have to hurry from the outside, and they score! A completely broken play, and Mitsuki Hashiguchi delivers.
A broken play, and who would have expected a shot from 7 meters to go.
This is just end of shot clock situation. Got to put it up. And they catch everyone sleeping. No defenders were there to put a hand in the air. Well, for sure our most entertaining game thus far here in Louisville, and another turnover. Japan has got this figured out as they work their way back in, and they're now on the move here with numbers. Here's Chiaki moving in. She goes cross pass, bad one at that, sends it too high, and going to give Brazil time to regroup, so they lose the element there of the advantage. Ball on the outside. Chiaki is field blocked. And Brazil will take over. It's almost as if Japan is just really waiting more for that counter opportunity.
Yeah. A bit of a wasted play there.
These half court are just placeholders. USA, China to follow at about 7:20 p.m. local time here in Louisville. It'll be an exclusion there against Japan, and then a timeout called by Brazil. And the exclusion there after the ordinary Japanese player did back up off the offensive player, giving them a chance to make a pass. And that's number 3, Akari Inaba, who's been excluded.
Yeah, that hurts. She's the 3 goals on a ledger for her. First such call of the game as well.
Out of the timeout, here's Brazil ahead by 1. They did lead 5-1 earlier in this one, 7-4 after 3. It's been a much different fourth quarter. In close, beautifully done. Marina Duarte with her second in a 9-7 lead, and that might be tough for Japan to rally from.
Terrific ball movement on that one. Not much that can be done to defend that.
.218 left. Here's Japan looking to stage one final rally. They have come all the way back to within a goal. Then Brazil going up 2 now. They go inside. The backhand sails it wide of the goal. And Brazil will have it back now with 2:05 to play. One more goal here from Brazil would probably do it. And a good look for Shapini off the post. Rebound, tipped away, and it comes to Japan, and they have to hustle here on the counter. Here's Chiaki. Moving in. Dangerous pass and an easy takeaway. And that just might do it. Japan with a huge error there down the stretch. But some tremendous bright spots from this team, especially in the way they rallied, a style that has confused Brazil and allowed them to get back into this game.
They have to play this this very risky style, and so passes like that are unfortunately for Japanese fans not to be unexpected, but they lead to this.
That's the capper. Canetti puts it away, and that'll do it after a spirited rally attempt here by Japan. Brazil will go up 10-7 here with 1:15 to play. And a nice job here by Brazil as well. And these are the types of games they've got to be able to finish off and show that they're the superior team.
The only critique of them is that they play a more traditional game, which is nothing to be faulted. They just simply aren't as, in some ways, as interesting, but they're simply the better team here today.
Entry inside and a steal, and Brazil comes up with it, and they can run out the rest of the clock here. Japan will be excluded. Ayaka Takahashi goes out, and a power play here for Brazil with under a minute to go. Zableith near side, Chapini, and that's deflected. She'll go and get it. And they'll say it actually touched out of bounds. It'll come in at 2 meters. Diaz. She pulls it back out, looking around now. To the perimeter. Lob over the top, too much on it, and it'll be gathered by Japan. And they've put in their backup keeper, Miyu Aoki, for the final couple of moments here, but this one all but decided. Long outlet pass now after the turnover. Chapini was still hanging down the offensive end. Final shot saved by Miyu Aoki, but that is all for this one as we come to the end of the match. A 10-7 win for Brazil, able to battle back after Japan rallied to get within a goal at 8-7 not too long ago. And a balanced effort here, 2 goals apiece from Marina Canetti, Isabella Chapini, Melanie Diaz, and Marina Duarte Tess Oliveira with 17 saves in goal. For Japan, they get 3 from Akari Inaba in the losing effort. So the final here, 10-7, Brazil wins it. We're coming back at 7:20 p.m. approximately for USA and China. For James Smith, Greg Meskel saying, come on back and join us for USA and China right here from Louisville, Texas.